Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. Here, in this vast expanse of desert and life-giving water, a story began that has captivated humanity for millennia. It is a story written in stone, in papyrus, and in the very DNA of the land itself. Today, we embark on an extraordinary journey into one of the most fascinating and ancient civilizations known to humanity, Egypt. We will travel back through time, across shifting sands and along the banks of the eternal Nile, to uncover the secrets of a people who shaped our world in ways we are still only beginning to understand. From the colossal ambition of their monuments to the intimate details of their daily lives, their legacy is all around us. Prepare to have your minds blown as I share 20 astonishing facts about this remarkable land, its history, its culture, and its people. We will investigate the engineering genius that raised the pyramids, decipher the sacred symbols that held the key to their beliefs, and explore the bustling energy of modern Egypt, a nation that bridges the ancient and the contemporary with remarkable grace. Each fact is a thread in a tapestry of immense complexity and beauty, revealing a civilization that was not only powerful, but also deeply spiritual, innovative, and profoundly human. This is more than a history lesson. It is an immersion into a world of wonder. This land of pharaohs, gods, and pyramids has beckoned explorers, scholars, and dreamers for centuries, and today it beckons us. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the mysteries, marvels, and stories of Egypt in detail. We will peel back the layers of time, venturing beyond the headlines and postcards to witness the enduring spirit of a civilization that has, against all odds, stood the test of time. Our adventure into the heart of ancient grandeur and modern vitality begins now. Here, along the fertile banks of the river Nile, something truly remarkable occurred over 5,000 years ago. One of the world's very first great civilizations took root and flourished, a cradle from which so much of our shared human story would emerge. The ancient Egyptians were pioneers in the truest sense. They developed one of the first systems of writing, the intricate and beautiful hieroglyphs, allowing them to record their history, their laws, and their deepest beliefs for eternity. This innovation was not merely decorative, it was the bedrock of a complex society, enabling a level of organization previously unimaginable. Their genius was not confined to papyrus. Look at the world around them. They were masters of their environment, developing sophisticated systems of governance to manage the resources of the kingdom. They were architects of genius, conceiving structures on a scale that continues to defy comprehension. Their understanding of mathematics, of engineering, of logistics, allowed them to build monuments that would stand as a testament to their power and ingenuity for thousands of years. This was not simply a kingdom, it was a meticulously orchestrated society, a blueprint for civilization itself that set a standard for all who would follow. Of all the marvels left by this ancient world, one stands above all others, a silent, colossal sentinel on the Giza plateau. The Great Pyramid, built as a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu, is an enduring monument to human ambition. For nearly 4,000 years, it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. Imagine the scene: tens of thousands of workers toiling under the Egyptian sun, quarrying, transporting, and lifting over 2 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons. It was a feat of logistics and engineering so immense that even today, we are not entirely certain how they accomplished it. Originally clad in polished white limestone, it would have gleamed like a jewel in the desert, a beacon of the pharaoh's divine power, its peak perhaps capped in gold. Its purpose was sacred, to serve as a stairway to heaven, a vessel for the king's soul to ascend into the afterlife and join the gods. The precision of its construction is breathtaking. The four sides are almost perfectly aligned with the cardinal points of the compass. Though its treasures were plundered long ago and its shining casing is gone, the Great Pyramid has lost none of its power to inspire awe. It remains the last of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still standing. A civilization of this scale could not have existed without one vital artery, the Nile. This magnificent river, the longest in the world, was and remains the lifeblood of Egypt. In a land that is over 90% desert, the Nile was the source of all life. The Greek historian Herodotus famously called Egypt the gift of the Nile, and he was not wrong. Each year, without fail, the river would swell, flooding its banks and depositing a thick layer of rich black silt. This predictable, life-giving inundation was the miracle upon which Egyptian agriculture depended. This annual flood created an incredibly fertile valley, a ribbon of green cutting through the harsh desert, allowing farmers to grow abundant crops of wheat, barley, and flax. The river was not just a source of water and food, it was the nation's primary highway, a bustling corridor for trade, transport, and communication. Boats and barges moved goods, building materials, and people from the southern reaches of Nubia to the Mediterranean delta. The rhythm of the Nile dictated the rhythm of life itself. Planting, harvesting, and building were all timed to its ebb and flow. It was a god, a provider, and the unifying force of the kingdom. The ancient Egyptians did not just build for eternity, they wrote for it. Their system of writing, known as hieroglyphics, or, sacred carvings, is honestly one of the most beautiful and complex ever devised. For centuries, these intricate symbols remained a mystery, the silent language of a lost world. They are a captivating mix of alphabetic signs, syllabic signs, and determinatives, symbols that clarified the meaning of a word. This complexity made them incredibly versatile, capable of recording everything from grand royal decrees and religious texts to simple shopping lists and personal letters. The key that unlocked this lost language was the Rosetta Stone, discovered in 1799. This remarkable slab of granite was inscribed with the same decree in 3 scripts: hieroglyphics, Demotic, a later Egyptian script, and ancient Greek. By comparing the known Greek text to the mysterious symbols, the French scholar Jean-François Champollion was finally able to crack the code. This breakthrough was really monumental. Suddenly, the silent stones of Egypt began to speak, revealing the intimate details of their society, their beliefs, their laws, and their poetry. Hieroglyphics gave the ancient Egyptians a voice that echoes down to us today. Crouching in the shadow of the Great Pyramids is another of Egypt's iconic and enigmatic monuments. The Great Sphinx of Giza, a creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human, is the largest monolithic statue in the world. Carved from a single massive outcrop of limestone, it has gazed out across the desert for over 4,500 years. It is believed to represent the pharaoh Khafra, the builder of the second pyramid, embodying his royal power through the strength of the lion and his divine wisdom through the human face. Yet the Sphinx is shrouded in as much mystery as it is majesty. Who exactly it represents, its precise purpose, and even its original name are subjects of intense debate among scholars. Over the millennia, it has been buried by the shifting sands, worshipped as a god, and has inspired countless legends. The famous Dream Stele, an inscription placed between its paws by the pharaoh Thutmose IV, tells a story of the Sphinx appearing to him in a dream, promising him the throne if he would clear away the sand that engulfed it. It is a guardian, a riddle in stone, and a timeless symbol of the enduring mysteries of ancient Egypt. The Egyptians' ingenuity extended far beyond stone and papyrus. They were also remarkably advanced practitioners of medicine. While their remedies were often intertwined with magic and prayer, their medical knowledge for its time was astonishingly sophisticated. Medical texts such as the Edwin Smith Papyrus and the Ebers Papyrus reveal a highly organized and empirical approach to healing. These documents are not collections of spells, but practical clinical manuals, detailing diagnoses, treatments, and prognoses for a wide range of ailments. The Edwin Smith Papyrus, in particular, is a stunningly rational work, a surgical treatise that describes 48 cases of trauma, from head wounds to spinal injuries, with methodical and practical advice. The Egyptians had a deep understanding of anatomy, gained in part through their practice of mummification. They could set broken bones, perform simple surgeries, and stitch wounds. They had a vast pharmacopoeia, using honey as an antiseptic and concoctions of plants and minerals to treat various illnesses. They even had specialists, including dentists and proctologists, demonstrating a level of medical specialization that would not be seen again for centuries. In the ancient world, one city stood as a beacon of knowledge and learning, Alexandria, and at its heart was the most famous and greatest library of antiquity. Founded in the 3rd century BC by the Ptolemaic dynasty, the Great Library of Alexandria was more than just a collection of scrolls. It was, honestly, a universal research institute. Its mission was breathtakingly ambitious, to collect a copy of every book in the known world. Scholars from across the Hellenistic world flocked here to study, debate, and write, pushing the boundaries of science, mathematics, literature, and philosophy. Tragically, the story of the library is also one of profound loss. Its decline and eventual destruction, which likely occurred over several centuries through fire, neglect, and conflict, represents one of the greatest intellectual catastrophes in human history. We can only imagine the vast stores of knowledge, the lost plays of Sophocles, the forgotten histories, the scientific treatises, that vanished forever. Yet its legacy endures. The Library of Alexandria remains a powerful symbol of the pursuit of universal knowledge and a poignant reminder of the fragility of our collective memory. Its spirit lives on in every great library and university in the world today. To understand ancient Egypt is to understand its gods. Religion and mythology were not separate from daily life. They were woven into its very fabric. The Egyptian pantheon was vast and complex, a celestial family of gods and goddesses who controlled every aspect of existence, from the rising of the sun to the flooding of the Nile and the fate of the soul after death. At the heart of this mythology was the sun god Ra, who sailed across the sky each day in his solar barge, bringing light and life to the world, and journeyed through the perilous underworld each night. Other key figures included Osiris, the god of the afterlife and resurrection, whose story of murder and rebirth formed the basis of their funerary beliefs. His devoted wife Isis was the goddess of magic and motherhood, a powerful protector. Their son Horus, the falcon-headed god, represented order and kingship, forever battling his uncle Set, the god of chaos in the desert. These stories were more than just tales. They were a framework for understanding the world, explaining natural phenomena, and providing a moral compass for society. The temples were their homes, the rituals their nourishment, and the pharaoh their living representative on earth. Perhaps nothing captures the popular imagination about ancient Egypt more than the mummy. This elaborate and sacred practice of preserving the body after death was central to their beliefs about the afterlife. For the Egyptians, death was not an end, but a transition to another, eternal existence. But to make this journey, the soul, or Ka, needed its physical body to remain intact as a permanent home. This belief drove them to become masters of preservation, developing the sophisticated process of mummification over thousands of years. The process was long and complex, taking up to 70 days. The internal organs, except for the heart, which was considered the seat of intelligence, were removed and preserved in canopic jars. The body was then dehydrated using natron, a type of salt, before being carefully wrapped in hundreds of yards of linen bandages. Amulets and spells from the Book of the Dead were tucked within the wrappings to protect the deceased on their journey. This meticulous care has provided us with an incredible gift, a direct physical link to these ancient people, allowing scientists to study their health, diet, and even their DNA thousands of years later. While the pyramids were built as tombs for dead pharaohs, the great temples were constructed as homes for the living gods. On the east bank of the Nile at modern-day Luxor lie two of the most magnificent temple complexes ever built, Karnak and Luxor. Karnak is not a single temple, but a vast, sprawling city of sanctuaries, pylons, and obelisks dedicated primarily to the Theban triad of gods, Amun, Mut, and Khonsu. It was the most important place of worship in all of Egypt, expanded and embellished by pharaoh after pharaoh for over 2,000 years. Its most awe-inspiring feature is the Great Hypostyle Hall, a dense forest of 134 massive sandstone columns, each one intricately carved and soaring over 20 meters high. To stand within it is to feel dwarfed by the devotion and power of the civilization that created it. A few miles south, connected by an avenue of sphinxes, is the Luxor Temple. It is a monument of breathtaking grace and harmony, particularly beautiful when illuminated at night. These were not simply places for public worship, but sacred precincts, cosmic engines designed to maintain the order of the universe through daily rituals performed by the priesthood on behalf of the pharaoh. In the long history of archaeology, there is one moment that shines brighter than all others. In November 1922, after years of fruitless searching in the Valley of the Kings, the British archaeologist Howard Carter made a discovery that would stun the world. He had found a hidden step leading down to a sealed doorway bearing the name of a little-known boy king Tutankhamun. When Carter finally made a tiny breach in the door and peered inside with a candle, his patron Lord Carnarvon asked, "Can you see anything?" Carter's famous reply was, "Yes, wonderful things," and wonderful they were. Unlike almost every other royal tomb, Tutankhamun's had remained virtually intact for over 3,000 years. It was a treasure trove, packed with over 5,000 artifacts, including golden chariots, intricate furniture, beautiful jewelry, and of course, the iconic solid gold death mask. The discovery unleashed a worldwide wave of Egyptomania and provided an unparalleled, detailed snapshot of royal life and funerary practices in the New Kingdom. Tutankhamun, the boy king who had been largely forgotten by history, suddenly became the most famous pharaoh of all. The legacy of ancient Egypt did not end with the pharaohs. Its influence resonates powerfully in our modern world, a testament to the enduring power of its culture. In the early 20th century, the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb sparked a global fascination, leading to the Art Deco movement, which incorporated Egyptian motifs like scarabs, lotuses, and geometric patterns into architecture, fashion, and design. You can see its echoes in the sleek lines of the Chrysler Building in New York or the opulent style of the 1920s. This influence continues today. Egypt's rich history has provided endless inspiration for film, from epic Hollywood blockbusters to thoughtful historical dramas. Its music, a vibrant blend of traditional Arabic melodies and modern rhythms, has a global audience. The novels of Nobel laureate Naguib Mahfouz, which paint a rich portrait of life in Cairo, have been translated into countless languages, offering a window into the soul of the nation. Egypt is not a civilization frozen in time. It is a living, breathing culture that continues to contribute its unique voice to the global conversation. The story of Egypt is also the story of its powerful and influential women. From the dawn of its history, women in Egypt enjoyed a relatively high status compared to their counterparts in other ancient societies. They could own property, run businesses, and inherit the throne. We remember legendary figures like Hatshepsut, a female pharaoh who ruled in her own right, and Nefertiti, whose famous bust symbolizes an ideal of timeless beauty and regal power. And of course, there is Cleopatra, the last pharaoh, a brilliant and cunning leader who held the fate of the Roman world in her hands. This legacy of strength and beauty continues. Today, Egyptian women are at the forefront of society, making vital contributions in every field, from science and arts to politics and business. Their beauty is celebrated, a diverse and captivating reflection of the country's long and multicultural history. They are the keepers of tradition, the drivers of change, and the heart of the Egyptian family and society. From the queens of antiquity to the leaders and innovators of today, the women of Egypt have always been a source of strength, grace, and inspiration. Beyond the fertile Nile Valley lies another Egypt, the vast, seemingly empty expanse of the desert. But this landscape is far from empty. It has its own life, its own stories, and its own iconic symbol, the camel. For millennia, these remarkable animals, perfectly adapted to the harsh conditions, were the ships of the desert. They made life, trade, and travel possible across the arid sands. Great camel caravans, sometimes numbering in the thousands, were the lifelines of commerce, transporting precious goods like gold, ivory, spices, and salt across North Africa and the Middle East. The desert itself holds a powerful place in the Egyptian psyche. It is a place of stark, minimalist beauty, but also of danger and chaos, the domain of the god Set. It was the protective barrier that shielded the Nile Valley from invasion, but also a place for spiritual retreat and contemplation, where early Christian monks established the first monasteries. The Bedouin people, who have called these deserts home for centuries, possess a deep, intimate knowledge of the land, preserving a nomadic way of life that is tied to the rhythms of the seasons and the stars. The desert and the camel are integral parts of Egypt's identity. The story of Egypt is not confined to antiquity. It is a nation that continues to shape its own destiny in the modern era. In January 2011, the world watched as Egypt became a focal point of the movement that came to be known as the Arab Spring. Hundreds of thousands of Egyptians from all walks of life gathered in Cairo's Tahrir Square and across the country. Their demands were for bread, freedom, and social justice, a powerful call for democratic reform and an end to the nearly 30-year rule of President Hosni Mubarak. The protests, largely peaceful and fueled by a young, tech-savvy generation, were a pivotal moment in the nation's recent history. After 18 days of mass demonstrations, Mubarak resigned, ushering in a period of profound political transition and uncertainty. The years that followed have been complex, marked by both hope and challenges as Egypt navigates its path forward. This period is a powerful reminder that the Egyptian people, who built one of the world's most enduring ancient civilizations, continue to possess a powerful spirit of resilience and a deep desire to forge a brighter future for their nation. To truly know a culture, you must share its food. Egyptian cuisine is a delicious and hearty reflection of its history, blending indigenous traditions with influences from across the Middle East and the Mediterranean. At the heart of many meals is aish baladi, a rustic whole wheat flatbread that is a staple of the national diet. The national dish, and honestly a must-try for any visitor, is koshari, a uniquely Egyptian and wonderfully comforting bowl of rice, lentils, and macaroni, topped with a spicy tomato sauce, chickpeas, and crispy fried onions. Sharing a meal is a cornerstone of Egyptian hospitality. Meals are a social, communal affair, a time for family and friends to gather, talk, and connect. Other beloved dishes include ful madams, a slow-cooked fava bean stew often eaten for breakfast, flavorful tameya, the Egyptian version of falafel made with fava beans instead of chickpeas, and mashi, vegetables like peppers, zucchini, or grape leaves stuffed with a seasoned rice mixture. From the bustling street food stalls of Cairo to elaborate family feasts, the food of Egypt is a celebration of flavor, community, and generosity. While the Nile defines Egypt's history, another body of water defines its modern allure for adventurers, the Red Sea. Along Egypt's eastern coast lies a world of breathtaking beauty, not of sand and stone, but of vibrant coral and kaleidoscopic marine life. The Red Sea is renowned as one of the world's premier diving and snorkeling destinations. Its warm, crystal-clear waters harbor some of the most spectacular underwater ecosystems on the planet, a dazzling paradise for divers. Beneath the surface, vast coral gardens stretch for miles, providing a habitat for over 1,000 species of fish and hundreds of types of coral. Divers can encounter majestic whale sharks, graceful manta rays, playful dolphins, and shoals of brightly colored reef fish. The region is also famous for its dramatic drop-offs and historic shipwrecks, like the SS Thistlegorm, which have become artificial reefs teeming with life. This underwater wonderland, a stark contrast to the arid desert just yards away, makes Egypt a country of two remarkable and distinct natural treasures. The art of ancient Egypt is instantly recognizable. It's distinct, powerful, and deeply symbolic, governed by a strict set of conventions that, honestly, remained remarkably consistent for thousands of years. This was not art for art's sake. It had a profound purpose. Its function was to uphold the divine order of the universe, to honor the gods, to ensure the immortality of the dead, and to reinforce the power of the pharaoh. That's why we see figures depicted in a composite style, the head in profile, the eye and torso from the front, and the legs in profile, to show the subject in their most complete and eternal form. This art reveals so much about their beliefs. The size of a figure indicated its importance, so pharaohs and gods were drawn much larger than ordinary people. Colors were also symbolic. Green represented new life, red signified power or danger, and blue symbolized creation and the heavens. From the monumental reliefs on temple walls to the intricate paintings inside tombs and the exquisite craftsmanship of their jewelry and furniture, Egyptian art provides a vivid, stylized window into their worldview. It is a visual language that communicates their deepest convictions about life, death, and the cosmos. Just as the ancient Egyptians reshaped their landscape with pyramids and temples, modern Egypt created a marvel of engineering that, honestly, reshaped the world. The Suez Canal, a 193-kilometer artificial waterway connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea, is one of the most strategically important shipping lanes on the planet. Its construction was a monumental undertaking, a dream dating back to the Pharaohs that was finally realized in the 19th century, officially opening in 1869. The canal created a direct maritime route between Europe and Asia, eliminating the need for ships to navigate the treacherous and lengthy journey around the southern tip of Africa. This shortcut revolutionized global trade, dramatically reducing travel times and costs. It has been a focal point of international politics and conflict, most notably during the 1956 Suez Crisis. Today, it remains a vital economic artery for Egypt and the world, a testament to modern vision and engineering prowess, and a symbol of Egypt's enduring position at the crossroads of global commerce. Our journey through Egypt's past, both ancient and modern, leads us to its future, and that future is being shaped by its greatest resource, its people. Egypt is a youthful country, with a large and dynamic population brimming with energy and ambition. There is a palpable sense of a nation on the move, one that is working to build a prosperous future while remaining deeply connected to its unparalleled heritage. This is a place where tradition and innovation exist side by side. Across the country, new cities are rising from the desert, massive infrastructure projects are underway, and a burgeoning tech scene is taking hold in Cairo. There is a renewed focus on preserving its cultural treasures for future generations while making them more accessible to the world. The challenges are real, but the spirit of the Egyptian people, their resilience, their hospitality, their humor, and their profound sense of history, is a powerful force for progress. The story of Egypt is far from over. A new chapter is being written every day, promising a future that could be as bright and as legendary as its past. And there you have it, 20 mind-blowing facts about Egypt that span thousands of years of history, culture, and progress. From the godlike ambition of the pharaohs who raised pyramids to the sky, to the quiet brilliance of the scholars in the Library of Alexandria and the passionate calls for freedom in Tahrir Square, the story of Egypt is a sweeping epic of human achievement. It's a narrative of incredible innovation, profound spirituality, and an unbreakable connection to the land, defined by the eternal rhythm of the Nile. Egypt is truly a land of wonder, mystery, and endless stories. Its ancient monuments continue to inspire awe, challenging us to comprehend the genius of their creators. Its people embody resilience, having navigated the currents of history with a grace and strength that is, honestly, humbling. And its future is as bright as its past is legendary, fueled by the energy of a young generation determined to build upon this incredible inheritance. The allure of Egypt is timeless, a magnetic pull that has drawn the world to its banks for millennia and will continue to do so for millennia to come. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through the land of the pharaohs. I hope it has ignited your curiosity and deepened your appreciation for this extraordinary corner of our world. Remember, Egypt's story is ongoing, and it continues to captivate the world with its blend of ancient majesty and modern dynamism. There are always more secrets to uncover, more stories to be told beneath the desert sun. Thank you.